What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be discussing the odds for UFC 311, where Islam and Arman will be fighting and Umar and Merab will be fighting. I believe these odds are way off and shows a heavy Dagestani bias. And the odds are just completely flipped. I mean, they should not be this far in favor of either fighter. So let's get into the specific odds here. So, as you can see, Islam is a minus 360 favorite against Arman, plus 285. This is insanely wide. We know that this will be a close fight. I mean, who's predicting this fight? Who's saying it's going to be one-sided or it's going to be a quick finish? No one. Everyone knows that this is most likely going to go to decision. No one is saying that it's going to be a dominant finish or a dominant decision. So I don't get how everyone knows it'll be close, but the odds are this wide still. Personally, I think it's going to be 48-47, 49-46. I don't know who's going to win. I'm leaning Islam, but it could even be 50-45, but the rounds itself will be close. Every single round will be close. Whoever wins this fight will win each round by a few strikes, because I don't think the grappling will be effective for either party here. So whoever wins this fight is just going to win each round by a few strikes. So once again, why are the odds so wide if that's the case and everyone knows that's the case? They have super equal skill sets. Islam has a better submission threat, but he's not going to submit Arman. Charles couldn't even submit Arman. So Islam has slightly better striking. I think he has a little more power in his hands. But listen, Arman, I think, improved more since their first fight. Actually, maybe not since their first fight, but right now I think he is improving more because he's younger. He's taking his training super serious. He's hungry. Islam's hungry too, but once again, I am leaning Islam, but this makes no sense to why the odds are this wide, and I think it's very ridiculous. And throwing some money on Arman's not a bad idea, because this is going to be a close fight, and in close decisions, anyone can win. Alright, moving on to Merab versus Umar. I think this is even worse, because I think Merab is going to win this fight. Plus 220 versus minus 270. Umar is once again the heavy favorite, just like Islam. So Merab, let's be honest, we all know he's much more experienced and he has much better wins. Everything that Merab has done in this win streak, beating Jan, beating Cejudo, beating Moraes, beating O'Malley, beating Jan, his Jan and Cejudo wins are much more impressive than Umar's win over Corey. Now that was a great win, and it was a pretty dominant win, but it's not like he damaged Corey or embarrassed him or anything. Merab completely embarrassed Jan and Cejudo. Jan, still we know, is super good, so that win's aging incredibly since Jan's gotten 2 wins. And yeah, I just don't get this. I mean, I get stylistically Umar can stuff the takedowns for Merab, and he's a slightly better striker, but guess what? It doesn't matter if Merab's takedowns get stuffed. Jan stuffed like 90% of them and still got dominated. Umar could stuff literally every single takedown and still lose this fight. So I don't really get why the odds are so wide once again. Merab's cardio is inhuman. You know, I mean, the only weapon he needs is cardio. You can compare their skill sets and techniques all you want, but what it comes down to is one guy has cardio that we've never seen before, and Umar does have pretty good cardio. We saw in the Sandhagen fight, but no one has cardio like Merab. So at some point we can't judge Merab's fights just based on, oh, he's sloppy on the feet, he doesn't get a lot of takedowns. Yeah, we've been saying that for the last 5 fight predictions, and he still wins, and he wins dominantly most of the time because of his cardio. So with his cardio, he can beat anyone, and he's hungry. I mean, I think he's the most hungry fighter in the UFC. People are saying he was ducking Umar. Come on, he's doing this on a 4-month turnaround. I think he knows he can win this fight, and I think he will win this fight. So Once again, the odds should not be this wide. It's ridiculous. It shows Dagestani privilege, not privilege, but bias. Okay, so Dagestani fighters, everyone thinks are these unbeatable people. But you know what? I think UFC 311 is going to show a lot of people that they can lose. I think Umar will lose, Islam will win. But Islam's going to be in a super tough fight. I don't see... Right, he went to decision. He almost went to decision with Poirier and was getting pieced up on the feet. So I don't know why people think that this is going to be dominant against Arman. According to the odds makers, they're giving Arman an awful chance to win. And I think that's super unfair. And they're giving Umar a huge chance to win against Merab, which is like, it's all stylistic. Besides Sandhagen, Umar's best win is Rowney Barcelos or Bekza Almakan, who he got dropped by. Now we know Merab is not going to hurt Umar on the feet. It's just not going to happen. But I do think he can win this fight by shoving him up against the cage and just Merabing him, gassing him out, getting control time. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the odds of the UFC 311 main and co-main. It's a great card, but I think these odds are unfair and the odds makers need to do some readjusting. Thank you.